The signal in the dark. The observation deck of Diplomatic Station Concordia offered one of the most breathtaking views in this sector of the galaxy. Commander Elena Rice stood alone at the massive transparent viewport, watching distant stars glitter against the void. The enormous wheel-shaped station rotated slowly at the edge of Galactic Council space, far from the blue-green world she called home. 6 years on this station, and Elena still wasn't used to the silence. Earth had birds, wind, thunder, and the constant buzz of a billion living things. Concordia had only the soft hum of environmental systems and the deliberately hushed voices of aliens who found human volume physically painful. Her neural implant chimed softly. "Commander Reyes, please report to Communications Center immediately. Priority Alpha." The Communications Center was a hive of activity when Elena arrived. Representatives from 14 different species worked at monitoring stations and holographic interfaces. Most were small-statured with large eyes and delicate limbs. Beings from gentle worlds with lower gravity and no evolutionary history of predation. Lieutenant Maya Chen waved her over from the human station. She was the only other human on duty, and like Elena, she stood nearly a head taller than most of the aliens present. "Commander, we've picked up something unusual," Chen said, keeping her voice low. "A signal from Artemis Colony." Elena frowned. Artemis. They shouldn't be transmitting direct signals. Council communication protocols. "It's a distress call," Chen interrupted, her expression grim. And then it stopped. Cut off mid-transmission. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. An ancient instinctual response that humans called a bad feeling. Council species didn't understand such intuition. They made decisions with pure logic and consensus. "Show me," she ordered. Chen played the message, a man's voice, tight with tension. "This is Artemis Colony. We are under attack by unknown vessels. Multiple casualties. Request immediate military assistance. They're using some kind of..." Then nothing but static. "When did this come in?" 17 minutes ago. I notified Ambassador Colvan first, as protocol requires." Elena nodded toward the far side of the room, where Ambassador Colvan was speaking with Senior Counselor Telex. Colvan was a Marini, tall with iridescent blue skin that shifted colors with emotional states. Currently, the diplomat's skin showed patterns of cautious yellow. Telex was a Centrian, small-statured with large black eyes that dominated a delicate face. Elena approached them. "Ambassador, Counselor, I need to discuss the Artemis Colony signal immediately." Colvan's skin rippled with annoyance. "Commander Reyes, I was just explaining to Counselor Telex that this is most likely a technical error or misunderstanding." "A colony doesn't send emergency signals for technical errors," Elena countered. "Humans are relatively new to interstellar communications," Colvan said dismissively. "Misinterpretations happen." Elena felt her jaw tighten. "Sir, with respect, we need to dispatch a response fleet immediately." Counselor Telex stepped forward, movement graceful and fluid. "Commander Rice, your concern honors you, but Council protocol requires verification before military deployment. This is not negotiable." "Verification will take days," Elena said, struggling to keep her voice level. "If they're truly under attack." The signal mentioned unknown vessels, but gave no specific details. Colvan interrupted. "Because it was cut off." Elena's voice rose involuntarily. Several nearby aliens turned to stare. Loud voices were considered deeply inappropriate on Concordia. Counselor Telex touched Elena's arm gently. The Centrian were touch telepaths, capable of sensing surface emotions. Telex's eyes widened, and the alien stepped back quickly. "Commander Reyes," Telex whispered, "your thoughts." "They're so violent." "Violent?" Elena asked. "When you think of your people in danger, your mind fills with preparations for battle. Weapons, strategies, retaliation." Telex looked genuinely disturbed. "Is this how all humans think?" Elena took a deep breath. "Only when our people are threatened." Ambassador Colvan stepped between them. We will follow proper protocol. I'll present this matter at tomorrow's council session. Until then, the issue is closed. As they walked away, Alina turned to Chen. Send a copy of that signal to my private terminal. Commander, if you're thinking of going against council orders. Alina cut her off. I'm thinking that somewhere, humans might be dying while we stand here talking. And if the council won't help them, someone else will. Chen nodded slowly. She understood. All humans did, because deep in their DNA was a truth that the gentler species of the council would never comprehend. Humans protected their own, no matter the cost, no matter the rules. And somewhere in the darkness of space, something had just awakened the most dangerous instinct of Earth's apex predators. The council chamber on Concordia Station was a perfect circle with 24 seats arranged around a central presentation area. Alina Reyes stood in the center, feeling the weight of 48 alien eyes upon her. The signal is clear, she said. Artemis Colony needs help now. High Counselor Jerix, a slender being with silver-gray skin and elongated limbs, tapped delicate fingers together. Commander Reyes, your species has been part of the Galactic Council for only 12 years. Perhaps you don't yet fully understand our procedures. Alina kept her expression neutral. Showing anger wouldn't help. I understand that people might be dying. Your people, Jerix corrected, human colonists, and we have only your word that this signal is authentic. Ambassador Colvan stood. The signal could indicate a local dispute. Perhaps the humans are fighting among themselves. Alina could hardly believe what she was hearing. So we do nothing. Send no help at all. Counselor Telix spoke softly. We will send an observation team. 3 ships. They will report back before any action is taken. That will take days, Alina said. Then it will take days, Jerix replied. Your species evolved on what most consider a death trap planet. You see threats where there are merely misunderstandings. Alina stepped forward, and several council members visibly flinched. You mistake our restraint for weakness. Pray you never see what happens when that restraint is gone. The chamber went silent. Then Jerix made a sound like chiming crystal, their species' equivalent of laughter. Is that a threat, Commander? It's a fact, Alina replied. We didn't survive Earth by ignoring danger. The vote was quick, 23-1 in favor of sending only an observation team. Alina was ordered to return to her regular duties and take no further action. But as she walked back to her quarters, Lieutenant Chen caught up with her in the corridor. Commander, Chen whispered, I found something in the signal. Hidden data. In Alina's quarters, Chen showed her what she'd discovered. The distress call had contained an encrypted military code embedded in the signal modulation. I almost missed it, Chen said. Alina stared at the screen. It wasn't just Artemis. 3 other human colonies had sent similar encoded signals before going silent. New Dawn, Helios, and Pathfinder Station. 4 colonies, Alina whispered. This is coordinated. A systematic attack. The Council needs to see this, Chen said. Alina shook her head. They've made their decision. They don't believe us, or they don't care. So what do we do? Chen asked. Alina looked at the star map on her wall. Earth was far away, a small blue dot near the edge of Council space. We warn our people, she said. I still have contacts in Earth Defense Command. Old channels the Council doesn't monitor. Chen looked nervous. That's a direct violation of Council communication laws. So they can arrest me, Alina said. After I send the message. After Chen left, Alina sat at her terminal, fingers moving quickly as she typed a code she hadn't used in years, a code from her military days before humanity joined the Council. Priority Adelphi. TOW. Earth Defense Command. Ephraim. Commander Alina Reyes, Concordia Station. Sub-GCST. Phoenix Protocol. She paused. Phoenix Protocol was an emergency code. It meant, attack on human settlements confirmed. Council will not act. Prepare for independent response. If she sent this, Earth would mobilize without Council permission. It could mean the end of human membership in the Galactic Council. It could mean war. But somewhere out there, human colonies were being attacked, and no one was coming to help them. Elena thought of Counselor Telex's fear when touching her mind. The alien had sensed something in Elena, the instinct to fight, to protect. Telex had called it violent. Humans called it loyalty. Elena sent the message. Across the room, a holographic display showed the 3 observation ships leaving Concordia Station. Too few, too slow. "I'm sorry," she whispered. But she wasn't apologizing to the Council. She was apologizing to whatever was attacking human colonies, because they had no idea what they had just awakened. On Earth, old warships that had been officially decommissioned years ago were about to power up their engines once more. Deathworlders rising. Admiral James Rodriguez stood at the window of Earth Defense Command headquarters, watching the rain fall on the old city of Santiago. His reflection showed a man with salt and pepper hair and a face marked by decades of difficult decisions. The door slid open behind him. "Sir, Phoenix Protocol message confirmed," said his aide, Lieutenant Commander Takahashi. "Commander Reyes security codes check out." Rodriguez turned. "Show me everything." The display wall illuminated with images of 4 human colonies: Artemis, New Dawn, Helios, and Pathfinder Station. All 4 had sent emergency signals before going silent. "Council response?" Rodriguez asked. "Observation only. 3 ships." Takahashi's voice was tight with anger. "Estimated arrival in 5 days." Rodriguez wasn't surprised. When humanity had joined the Galactic Council 12 years ago, they had officially decommissioned most of their warships as a gesture of peace. However, Rodriguez had been a soldier too long to trust in paper promises. While politicians talked of harmony, he had quietly prepared for the day when humans might stand alone. "Activate Homeworld Defense Initiative," he ordered. Takahashi's eyes widened. "Sir, that's a direct violation of our Council treaty obligations." "So is attacking our colonies," Rodriguez replied evenly. "Send the signal." Across Earth and throughout the solar system, hidden transmitters activated. Secret messages reached officially decommissioned military vessels and civilian ships that had been quietly modified over the years. Weapon systems that were supposedly dismantled years ago powered up. On Mars Colony, General Sophia Wu read the message and immediately ordered all civilian vessels to prepare for evacuation drills. Not a drill. At the Luna shipyards, Chief Engineer Kai Nakamura opened a secure storage unit that hadn't been accessed in years. Inside were weapon upgrades for civilian ships that officially didn't exist. "Begin installation," he ordered his team. 48-hour deadline. On the colony world of Artemis, Governor Thomas Chen led a group of survivors through underground maintenance tunnels. Above them, strange ships moved through the burning settlement. "We need to reach the emergency bunker," he told the frightened colonists. "Military help is coming." "How do you know?" asked a woman carrying a child. Chen showed her the small device in his hand. One green light blinked steadily. "Emergency beacon. Earth knows we're in trouble. They're coming." The woman looked doubtful. "The Council said we couldn't have weapons here. How will Earth fight?" Chen smiled grimly. "The Council doesn't know humans very well." Back on Earth, Admiral Rodriguez addressed an emergency meeting of Earth's Defense Council. Representatives from all Earth nations sat around a large table. "The Galactic Council has failed to protect our colonies," Rodriguez said, "so we will protect them ourselves." "With what?" asked one representative. "We gave up our warships." Rodriguez pressed a button. The display showed hundreds of ships scattered across the solar system. "We gave up most of our warships. The rest we repurposed." "You hid a fleet from the Council?" someone asked incredulously. "We called it the Homeworld Defense Initiative," Rodriguez answered. "Insurance in case we ever faced a threat and stood alone." Another council member looked worried. This could mean the end of our council membership. If we do nothing, it could mean the end of our people, Rodriguez replied. The council voted. The decision was unanimous. Activate the fleet. As the meeting ended, one of the younger members approached Rodriguez. Admiral, the council sees us as primitives, violent deathworlders barely worthy of membership. Will this prove them right? Rodriguez watched the rain outside. The council forgets that humans unify when threatened. After centuries of fighting each other, we know war like they know diplomacy. If our colonies are threatened, they're about to learn what happens when the apex predators of Earth move as one. Across the solar system, ships began to move, civilian vessels with hidden weapons, old military ships with new upgrades, a fleet that officially didn't exist. The Deathworlders were gathering. The Council observation ships approached Artemis Colony cautiously. Commander Elena Reyes had fought hard to join the mission, arguing that they needed someone who understood human settlements. Ambassador Kulvan had finally agreed, but only to keep her quiet. Now, standing on the bridge of the lead ship, Elena wished she hadn't come. Artemis was burning. The once beautiful colony with its farms and forests was now black smoke and ruins. The observation team watched in silence. Scan for life signs, ordered Ambassador Kulvan, his blue skin pale under the emergency lights. Multiple human signatures detected, reported the sensor officer, in the eastern mountains, underground structures. Elena felt a surge of relief. Some had survived. Dr. Navian Singh, a human xenobiologist who had joined the mission, stood beside Elena. Those attack patterns aren't random, he said quietly. Look at the burn marks on the structures. Elena saw what he meant. The damage followed specific patterns, like someone methodically testing different weapons to see what worked best. This wasn't a raid, she said. It was an experiment. The ship landed near the colony's main research facility, one of the few structures still partially intact. The team wore protective suits as they explored the ruins. Inside what remained of the laboratory, Dr. Singh found something disturbing. Commander, look at this. On a lab table lay strange containers with alien warning symbols. Inside was a dark substance. Singh scanned them with his equipment. It's a biological agent, he said grimly, specifically engineered to target human DNA. Elena felt cold fear grip her stomach. Someone made a weapon just for humans. Yes, said a voice behind them. We did. Elena turned. A large figure stood in the doorway. It wasn't human. Its skin was thick and scaled, with bony plates covering vital areas. Yellow eyes with vertical pupils studied them coldly. Vorlak, gasped Singh. I thought they were just stories. The alien made a harsh sound. Laughter. We are very real. I am War Master Kyak of the Vorlak Imperium. Elena had heard rumors of the Vorlak, a warrior species rejected by the Council for being too aggressive. They had disappeared from known space decades ago. Why attack humans? Elena demanded. We've never even encountered your kind. Because you are like us, Kizak said. Deathworlders. Predators. The Council fears you, just as they feared us. But unlike us, they accepted you. His yellow eyes narrowed. A mistake we are correcting. Suddenly, alarms sounded outside. New ships appeared in the sky. Not Council ships. Vorlak warships. You led us into a trap, Elena realized. The Council is weak, Kizak said. They will watch you die, just as they watched our people suffer. Elena moved fast. She grabbed Singh's arm and pulled him toward the back door. Weapons fire followed them as they ran outside. The observation team was under attack. Ambassador Kulvan was shouting orders as his officers fell around him. We need to reach the mountains, Elena told Singh. Find the survivors. As they ran, Elena saw a small figure watching from behind a broken wall. Counselor Telex. The Centurion had followed them secretly. Telex, Elena called. Come with us. The three of them escaped into the forest, as the Vorlak attacked the observation ships. They ran for hours until they reached the mountain bunkers where the colonists were hiding. Governor Chen met them at the entrance. "Commander Reyes, the Council finally sent help." "Not exactly," Alina said grimly. "The Council sent observers. The Vorlak sent killers." Inside the bunker, Dr. Singh showed Chen what they'd found. Biological weapons designed to target humans. "They're testing different versions," Singh explained, "learning which is most effective." "Why?" Chen asked. "Because they fear what humans might become," Councillor Telix said quietly. "Some on the Council fear it too." Telix touched Alina's hand. The touch telepath's eyes widened. "But now, I see what they don't understand. Your violence isn't random. It's protective." Telix looked around at the humans caring for their wounded, sharing food, working together. "You fight hardest to save others." Alina's neural implant chimed, a secure channel from Earth. Admiral Rodriguez's voice came through clearly. "Commander Rice, the fleet is coming. Hold on." Telix looked confused. "Fleet? The Council has no fleet in this sector." Alina smiled grimly. "Not the Council fleet. Ours." "Impossible," Telix whispered. "Humans surrendered their warships years ago." "We surrendered most of them," Alina corrected. "The rest we kept, just in case." She looked at the stars through the bunker's observation port. Somewhere up there, human ships were coming, and the Vorlak were about to learn why Earth was called a death world. Captain Sarah Nakamura stood on the bridge of the vessel Defiance. Once it had been labeled a colony transport ship. Now, hidden weapons bristled along its hull, and armor plates covered its vulnerable systems. "All systems ready, Captain," reported her first officer. Nakamura nodded. "Join the formation." Outside the view screen, space filled with ships, hundreds of them emerging from hiding places throughout the solar system. Some were old military vessels with new upgrades. Others were civilian ships retrofitted with weapons. All had been concealed from the Galactic Council for years. On Earth, Admiral Rodriguez watched the fleet gather on a massive display wall. Beside him stood Engineer Director Kai Nakamura, the genius who had designed the stealth systems that had hidden the fleet. 1,846 ships, Nakamura said, all armed and ready. Rodriguez's face was set with determination. "Send the message to all captains. Operation Homeworld Defense is active. Primary objective: rescue survivors. Secondary objective: neutralize the hostile force." The human armada jumped to FTL speed, heading toward Artemis Colony. At the colony bunker, Alina was helping organize the survivors when a young colonist monitoring the sensor equipment shouted, "Multiple ships dropping out of FTL. Thousands of them." Alina rushed to the screen. For a moment, her heart sank. Had the Vorlak brought reinforcements? Then she saw the identification signals. Earth Defense Command. The human fleet had arrived. In orbit, the Vorlak ships turned to face the unexpected threat. They outnumbered the human observation vessels 20-1. But now they found themselves outnumbered 5-1. The space battle was swift and decisive. The Vorlak were fierce warriors, but they had never faced the full military might of a species that had spent its evolutionary history fighting. First against nature, then against itself, and now against external threats. When the last Vorlak ship retreated, Captain Nakamura contacted the surface. "Commander Reyes, this is Captain Nakamura of the Defiance. The enemy has been driven off. Rescue shuttles are inbound to your position." On Concordia Station, the emergency council session was in chaos. Reports were coming in from multiple sectors. A massive human fleet had engaged and defeated an unknown alien force at Artemis Colony. "This is a direct violation of Council Treaty," High Counselor Jurix declared. "Humans concealed military assets and deployed them without authorization." A communication channel opened. Admiral Rodriguez's face appeared on the main screen. "Counselors," he said calmly, "the Vorlak Imperium has been systematically targeting human colonies. While you debated protocols, they tested biological weapons specifically designed to eradicate our species. We acted to protect our people, as any sovereign species would. You hid a fleet, Jurix accused. You lied to the Council. We prepared for a day we hoped would never come, Rodriguez replied. Today proved the wisdom of that preparation. Councillor Telix stepped forward. I was there. I saw what the Vorlak did. I felt the humans' minds. They fight not for conquest, but for protection. The council chamber fell silent. The human fleet has secured all 4 attacked colonies, Rodriguez continued. We are treating survivors and rebuilding. We have also transmitted to you all evidence of Vorlak biological weapons development. They pose a threat not just to humans, but potentially to all council species. He paused. Humanity remains committed to the ideals of the Galactic Council: peace, cooperation, and mutual defense. But understand this: we will never again stand idle while our people die waiting for help that doesn't come. 3 months later, Commander Elena Reyes stood again at the viewport on Concordia Station. But now she wore the insignia of humanity's official representative to the Galactic Council. The treaty had been renegotiated. Humanity had maintained its council membership, but with new provisions acknowledging their right to maintain a defensive fleet. Councillor Telix approached her at the viewport. The council session went well today. The Joint Defense Initiative passed unanimously. Elena nodded. The first mixed-species patrol fleet launches next week. Many council species still fear the human capacity for violence, Telix admitted. They should, Elena said. But they should remember that the same instinct that makes us dangerous to our enemies makes us fiercely protective of our allies. Telix touched Elena's hand briefly, sensing her emotions. The Council has begun to understand something important about Deathworlders. Your strength isn't just in your ability to fight. It's in your determination to protect. Elena smiled. That's the thing about humans, Counselor. We'll cross the galaxy to save a friend. And we'll fight through hell to protect our own. Outside the viewport, a new ship moved into position, the first of the joint patrol vessels. On its hull were the symbols of both the Galactic Council and Earth Defense Command, a testament to a new understanding between Deathworlders and the wider galactic community. The signal that had awakened humanity's warships had also awakened the galaxy to a simple truth. Sometimes, in a dangerous universe, the most valuable allies are those who know how to fight.